Welcome back to No Man's Land for episode 4 with me, Farm Sim Snowy. Oh, that's bad timing. I do apologise. That's better though. I didn't do all that, by the way. Anyway, since the last episode, we finished seeding the canola in the back 2 fields, and they are currently growing. There you go, canola. And they've obviously only had their first stage of fertilising, which happens when we seed with our seeder. So as soon as they start showing their first growth stage, we can then put the second lot of fertiliser on. And I think this episode we are going to bite the bullet and buy plot 25, I'm thinking, because then we could possibly extend this field after we've harvested that. It would make it easier, and make another field here in 25 maybe. We can continue on our roads as well, or tracks. So yeah, I'm thinking probably going to do that, because we've got 113,000 while we've got that sort of money. And then I'm thinking as well, in between me doing bits and bobs, we're going to clear a lot of these trees over the back, because around the back there, I'm hoping if we keep that area, I'm going to keep these trees here, by the way. I'm not going to start cutting down every tree, because we want some sort of character to our farm. I think all this back area though, we're going to have a few animals as we progress. I think I'm thinking of putting a chicken pen in here somewhere. So I think we'll start with chickens, because they're quite easy to maintain. They don't need a lot of work, they just need wheat or barley. So I'm thinking from sort of like the corner of our shed this way, we're going to clear all these trees out as we go. But that's going to take a long time with just a chainsaw and a small trailer. So that is the plan for today. So first of all, let's jump straight into it and buy 25. Would you like to buy this land? Yes, we would. Excellent. We now own 25. Which should let us cut these trees down now. Oh, the dog's going mental downstairs. And then I'm thinking, in the future, if we get rid of our shabby farmhouse and that disgusting toilet I've just been forced to go into, we could extend this field back as well. That would give us another bigger field. We can always relocate our farmhouse to a nicer area, possibly over by the lake there. That would be nice. Anyway, let's get to work. Let's start off with, let's get some chickens, shall we? We'll go back round here and we'll have a look at this ground, see how flat it is. Because the trouble is, when you place anything, whether it's animal pens, buildings, you've got to have a reasonably flat area, otherwise it just charges you so much more. It's a shame that rock's there. I might in the future look to seeing if we can get rid of that, maybe. So yeah, I'm thinking chickens there. So let's go into our menu, animal pens. I've got a few loaded up here, but what I'd like to do is use the ones that were included with this map. So Alien Jim has added in its own stuff, hence AJ Tech. So here's his chicken coop there, which is only 10,000, which is pretty good. We've got 28. I'm thinking if we start cutting wood down, we can make some money back by doing that. That's going to hold 500 chickens, but we'll only start off with a few, I think. So what I was saying is this is supposed to only cost us 10,000 euros. If I just open up our help menu, you see about halfway down there it says buy 10,888. When I start moving that, the price changes, because that's telling us that that ground isn't completely flat. So it's not bad. I mean, if you were to go something like that, 23,000, because we're right on that rock. So we want to try and find our best sort of spot. I'm going to take the risk and go there, so I want to keep it back a little bit from the track. What it's probably going to do is the left corner there, front corner, it's going to raise the ground up, I would think. Here we go. We've jumped right into it. So yeah, it's slightly raised this corner, which isn't a problem. And this bit should be reasonably flat with our track. So that's okay, that's good. Right, before we buy any chickens, another reason why I've chose chickens as well, because if you remember, the only crop we've got left in our silo is barley. So we've already got some feed there for the chickens, which is good. But I do want to get one thing, which is a pallet, which is a mod, but it's going to be so much easier and more manageable, and put it there in this bit, because this is where our eggs will appear when the chickens produce eggs. But this mod that I'm going to use, it will stack them in boxes and inside a little egg pallet cage. It's just so much easier to collect. That's going to be our feed area there. So what I'll do is I'll whiz down to the shop and pick that up, and I'll bring it back up here, and I'll see you back up here, guys, and we'll buy the chickens together. So I'll see you in a second. Right, so we've now got our pallet ready. So the eggs will spawn here when the chickens produce them, which is good. I'll just quickly show you which one it was we bought. So it's in pallets, and it's this animal goods transport pallet, and you can either have a wool one for your sheep, you've got a little picture of the sheep there under the pallet, or an eggs one. Obviously we went for eggs, so that costs us 1,000, but it's going to make our life easier. So now let's get some chickens. Now, should we go for white ones? It doesn't really matter, but we'll only buy a few. They do reproduce quite quickly as well. So they're 50 euros each. Chickens are the only animals in the game where we can't transport them ourselves, so we have to buy them like this, which is a bit annoying because you have to pay a transport fee then. We haven't got any choice, so if we do that, we're getting charged 15 euros per chicken. So let's just see, we've only got 16,000 to play with. I don't want to max that out, so we want to leave a little bit. Maybe spend about 10,000 on them. So that's one. Let's get that bottom figure up as close to 10 as we can. I'm not too worried about having an exact number in there. Ooh, 10,010 euros. That will do. So we hit confirm. Here we got now got chickens. Look at them. So how many did we actually end up with there? If we go into our menu, go across to our animals, so we've got 154 chickens already, guys. That's a good start. So let's jump into them, because they're going to need feeding. So we'll fill this, or not fill this up, but we'll take all the barley out. I'm not sure how many chickens we'll take, but I don't think they'll take all that. But we can always put it back in our silo. So our first set of animals on the farm. Like I say, these don't take a lot of, you've literally just got to feed them and that's it. And you've just got to keep your eye on the, they obviously make a mess out of this, so you've got to clean up their feed. I know it looks like the chicken's straight on the floor, but it is going in. And they did take quite a bit of that. So they should be full now. 9,240 litres of barley they've took. So that menu takes a little while to update. So as soon as it updates, we'll have a reproduction rate telling us how many hours it's going to produce one chicken, and then it will show us how many eggs are being produced as well, or have been produced. It's a little bit odd because you don't need any roosters in there, but that's just the way the game goes. We could have had roosters, but they don't actually do anything in the game. There's no benefit to having them. So let's crack that up in there and get rid of that. Obviously the more chickens you've got, the more they're going to eat as well. So I think the next thing to do now is to try and suss out how we're going to have a field over here, because the ground's a bit hilly, it's a bit up and down, which isn't a problem. If we bear in mind that that field over there is going to get extended past our farmhouse, bring up our mini-map. We could have a really big field here. What I think we should do first is to get that road painted in so we can see what we've got to play with. So I think it was about that width there, wasn't it? So we zoom right out and we'll just keep going again until we get told that we don't own the land. That is already looking smart. So now just over here, look at the field we could probably put in there. So maybe, shall we go sort of straight up there, round the rocks. We might have to get rid of a few trees. And where are we going to finish? It's going to end us there, isn't it? So roughly in line with those trees there we could go to. That is going to be a huge field. Probably to about there. I don't really want to touch these trees. I'm not sure we're going to get away with a worker going on this field though, because it's going to be quite an odd shape. We'll get the area marked out roughly, and we'll see how we get on. But like I say, there's going to be a few trees coming down here and there. So I'll whiz over and grab our subsoiler, and I'll see you back over here. Right, here we are. I'll zoom out a little bit as much as we can. It's gonna. So I'm thinking somewhere like that to start with. So right, we're gonna go for it. And we're off. Try and stay as straight as I can. Might have to get rid of that small tree there at some point. I'm not sure I want to go right up to those rocks. Or shall we? No, let's leave some of those trees in. I don't want to keep cutting loads of trees down. I know we can replace them. We will replace some trees as well. It's good for the environment. Come across something like that. We will be taking a few down here and there though. Yeah, there's no way any of the workers are going to navigate this field, because this is going to be a really odd shape. But it's going to give us a lot of money once we get crops growing on it. So I wanted to come tonight just down about there, I'd say. Otherwise we get too close to our boundary, it's going to create problems, I think. We're pretty much on the edge of it now anyway. So what I do, guys, is if I get this mapped out, the outline, I'll get you back in when we're ready to start sort of filling it in and cutting some trees down. So that is going to be a huge field. I know it's a little bit hilly as well, so it could cause a few problems with our tractors on the seeding and even the harvester, but we'll just have to see what happens. Just thinking it would just give us more income if we can get a massive field like this done and get some things planted. So I'll start filling it in. I'll probably do like a time lapse, whether it's for all of it, but I'm going to have to chop a few trees down as well here and there and get the stump grinder out. So, finally finished. It was a bit of a slog, but look at the size of this field now. As soon as we get some crops off of that, we're going to be making money. There's a few trees that are chopped down lying around, but I'll sell them a bit later off camera. And let's just check, as our chickens, yeah, so our chickens have updated. So they've got a reproduction rate of 1 hour and 15 minutes. That means every 1 hour and 15 minutes we're going to get a chicken, and we're going to get one in 45 minutes. Not produced any eggs yet, so that's all good. Happy with that. We're down to £330 though, which is a bit tragic considering we started the episode with over 100,000. But we've got a few logs to sell or chip up, and I've got to start cutting some of these trees down here as well, so that's going to bring in some more income. So we'll crack on with that as well. In between, this is going to need seeding. I don't know what we're going to grow there, but I'll do a few things off of camera and I'll bring you back in when we're doing other bits and bobs. So I'll see you soon. I couldn't get much more on the pickup. This suspension's right down, the front wheels are lifting up, so that is all of the logs anyway. I'll go over and chip all these up, and I'll see you back when I've finished. That's all the wood sold. We made just over €3,000. One thing I did think of is our new field. Ideally we need to lime it so it'll give us our maximum yield, but the only trouble with that is we've only got 3,500, and I was hoping to buy this one there, the Lizard MVU8, so we can't afford that at the minute. We could probably lease it 374, which I think we'll have to do, and when we've got enough money we'll buy that. It'll give us a chance to test it out, see whether we like it. I'm not too worried about changing the colours. We'll just keep it standard. We can change the colours ourselves when we're ready to do that. But ideally, God, look at those wheels. They're funky, aren't they? It's like something out of Mad Max. Yeah, we'll keep it as standard, and then when we come to buy it, if we like it, we can customise it ourselves. So we'll lease that. I'll pop on down to the store and pick it up. Right, so let's fill this up with lime, which I think is the ones at the front. Let's just double check, don't want to get that wrong. Yeah, that's lime. It doesn't matter if we get all of that in there. Whatever we don't use on that field, we'll just plonk back down here and it's ready to go for the next time. Just by doing this as well, it's going to give us a better yield. We can earn more from our crops when we've harvested them, and then we don't have to worry about liming for the next 3 harvests. So hopefully this is all going to be enough lime for that field. It's quite a big field we've got there now. Slowly building the farm up how we want it. Yeah, I'm thinking when we do come to sell our rundown farmhouse, putting the farmhouse down here somewhere, not by this nice lake. A bit more scenic. Right, so we're now full. We've got 11,000 litres of lime. Let's go and do our new field. Should be able to get to it from this way. Our little fence pulling this, no worries. So, what spread did we have for this? 20 metres, that's a lot. Alright, I've got to get used to the spread of it now then. Obviously not that much. Is that really 20 metres? It's going to be more than that. Let's go again. It is right this time. That's a bit better. Oh, I'm missing stuff. Oh, terrible driving. Let's zoom out a bit, we can see what we're doing. God, I don't know if I like this thing actually. It's throwing out like a dome at the back. Definitely don't think that's 20 metres. I could be wrong, but anyway, we'll get this done and then we'll see what we can do next. So that's our massive field limed. It just shows how big that field is. I know lime goes down quite quick, but it's nearly used all of that. We have 11,000 litres in there, and now we've only got a little bit left. So if we just check, missed a couple of little spots here and there, but that'll be okay. There we go, our new field. Looks a bit odd shaped, but which it is, but who cares? It's going to make us money. So I'm going to go and return this back to the shop, and I'll see you back up here. So we're back on the farm. Let's get that field seeded. I'm probably going to have to fill up with, let's get some, oh, on the rock, fertiliser first. That should open up, that's good. Excellent. Let's get some more seeds. Oh, what I did want to show you actually is if we go into our animals, we've gained a chicken. We had 154 to start with, we've got 155 now. And the next thing to decide is what to plant in that field. If we go for canola, well, it's going to be a slightly behind the other fields. Let's have a look at the prices, or we could go for soybeans again because they are a good earner. Sunflower prices are going up, but we can't do those because we need a planter. We've only got a seeder. I think we'll go for, let's go for soybeans again. I don't want to keep on doing soybeans, but if we can, no, I'll fill that up, thank you. If we can get some good money coming in, surely that's better for us. And that's a big field. The only trouble is this seeder doesn't hold a lot. Only 495, so we'll probably have to go back and forwards a few times, should imagine, to fill up. Let's just change canola, there we go, soybeans. Now I'm probably going to do this field myself because A, it's going to cost us a fair bit of money for a worker, and I have no idea how they're going to fare going on here, so I'll probably do another time lapse, guys, or I'll just bring you back in when we're done. Our new field has been planted or seeded with soybeans, as we can see on our map, and it's growing and it's had its first stage of fertiliser. We only had to do one trip to get some more seeds, but the fertiliser is still the same tank, so that was quite good. If we look over on our field there, our canola's just started sprouting through, so we can crack on and get that second stage of fertiliser done. If I can back the seeder in there, that is. There we go, that's better. So we'll drop that down there. I'll pick this up. Our new fertiliser spreader. What I like about this one is it's got a little trick up its sleeve. It's got variable width spread on it. So we open the cover, let's fill this up. So that must have been the old bag there. Might as well fill this right up because this is all this is going to be used for, because it can't do lime, otherwise we would have used this. There we go, 3,900 litres. We'll just quickly open up our help menu. Down the bottom of the help menu there, you see it says current working width, so at the minute it's 24 metres spread. If we press the triangle, we can go 28, 32, 36, 40 and 45 metres. So if we put on 45, we're going to blitz these fields. I'll turn that off. So how far is 45 going to go? Look at that. That almost does. In fact, that probably would do if I was in the middle, the whole of that field. That's what I love about that spreader. That's why I chose that one. So I should put it down to 24 now, which is still overkill just for this little strip. But that's going to come in handy when we've got our new big field to fertilise. So let me just put that back on because I want to double check we're not. Let's get back up to 45. Check on our chickens in a minute as well. Look at that. Quality. Great investment, that one. blitzing the fields. Chickens are starting making mess already. I think I missed just a tiny little bit there. There we go. Bit of overkill, but so if I go in the middle of the field, how far does that go? Oh look, that's doing almost the full width. We'll do this pass and then we'll see what we've missed. Yeah, that field over there, it took forever to seed. But our little Fendt coped. I thought it was going to be a bit hilly and things were going to struggle with it, but it towed that seeder really well. Probably should turn that down. There we go, to 24 that should be. I did notice on that first pass that we missed a couple of bits. I don't know why. Doesn't seem to like that area there for some reason, and this area. Let's have a quick look on our map. I think what it was is when I was doing the landscaping, I went into the field a little bit. So I had to get the subsoiler back out and do those two patches, and I think it might be because it needs a little bit of lime there, if you can just see. And I did the same there. Oh well, that's not going to affect us too much. So I'm happy with that. Definitely making progress. Let's just jump out. Let's turn that off. Save fuel. So yeah, the chickens have started making mess already. No eggs yet, not showing. If we go into our menu, we've got another one. So we've gained 2 chickens already this episode. It says 13 litres. That's not 131. That is actually an L on the end there. I don't know why they do the eggs in litres, but they'll start appearing there in a minute. But I think we'll call that it for this episode. So we've done quite a bit. I'm very pleased with how we've progressed in this episode. Money's gone down quite a bit, but you know, like I said before, we've got to speculate to accumulate. It's all about a gradual build up. Money's going to go up and down. So we'll leave it there. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Sorry some of it was in time lapse, but I just thought that was the easiest way to do it. Otherwise it would have taken an absolute age to show everything. If you have enjoyed it, please give us a like, and if you don't subscribe yet, then please do, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.